Before we begin, let us quiet our minds and listen to an ancient story. A story the Buddha once told to his disciples as they sat by a flowing river, watching the water pass by endlessly, never the same twice. This is a teaching about impermanence, about suffering, and about the liberation that comes from truly understanding the nature of all things. The Buddha said, "All conditioned things are impermanent. When one sees this with wisdom, one turns away from suffering." These words, spoken over 2,000 years ago, contain a truth that most of us spend our entire lives resisting. We cling, we grasp, we hold tightly to things that were never meant to be held. One day, a young monk approached the Buddha with a troubled heart, weighed down by grief and confusion. He had lost someone dear to him, and the pain felt unbearable, like a wound that would never heal. "Master," he said, his voice breaking, "how do I stop this suffering? How do I let go of what I have lost?" The Buddha did not answer immediately. Instead, he stood and walked to the riverbank, gesturing for the young monk to follow. They stood together in silence, watching the river flow past them, the current moving continuously, carrying leaves, branches, and reflections of clouds across its surface. The Buddha pointed to the water and asked, "Tell me, do you see this river?" "Yes, Master," the monk replied. "Is it the same river you saw yesterday?" The monk paused, uncertain how to answer. It looked the same. It was in the same place. But the water was always moving, always new. "No, Master," he finally said. "The water is different. It has flowed away. This is new water." The Buddha smiled gently. "And yet you still call it a river. You see it, you recognize it, you give it a name. But the water that was here moments ago is now far downstream. And the water that will be here moments from now has not yet arrived." He turned to face the young monk directly. "Tell me, which is the real river? The water that has passed? The water that is here now? Or the water that is yet to come?" The monk stood silent, the question penetrating deeper than words. The Buddha continued, "This river is a perfect teacher. It shows you the truth of all existence. Nothing remains the same, not even for an instant. The river is constantly dying and constantly being born. Yet we call it by one name. We think of it as one thing, permanent and unchanging. This is our delusion." In the Dhammapada, the Buddha teaches, all things are impermanent. They arise and pass away. To realize this is to find peace. The young monk looked down at his own reflection in the water, watching it ripple and distort with each movement of the current. Even his own face was not constant. Even his own body was like the river, cells dying and being replaced, breath entering and leaving, thoughts arising and dissolving. "Master," he asked, "if everything is always changing, what am I to hold on to? If I cannot grasp anything, how do I live? How do I love without losing?" The Buddha's response was gentle but firm. "You suffer not because things change. You suffer because you believe they should not change. You suffer because you cling to what is already gone." He gestured again to the river. "Does the river suffer because the water flows away? Does it cry for the water that has passed? No, Master, the monk answered quietly. Why not? Because it is the nature of water to flow. The river does not resist its own nature. The Buddha nodded. Exactly. And it is the nature of all things, to arise, to exist for a moment, and to pass away. This is not tragic. This is not cruel. This is simply the way things are. The Buddha taught, attachment is the root of suffering. Let go of attachment, and you will know peace. But letting go is perhaps the hardest thing a human being can do. We are taught to hold on, to possess, to make permanent what is inherently temporary. We try to freeze the river, and then we suffer when we cannot. The young monk asked, "But Master, does this mean I should not love? Should I not care for others, knowing I will lose them?" The Buddha shook his head. Love fully, care deeply, but do not confuse love with possession. Do not confuse connection with control. When you love the river, you do not try to hold the water in your hands. You appreciate its flow. You honor its movement. You sit beside it and feel grateful for this moment, knowing it will pass. This is how you must love all things, fully present, fully open, but without the grasping that creates suffering. The monk felt something shift inside him, like ice beginning to melt. So, the person I lost, he began, was like the water in the river? The Buddha finished. They were here. Now they have flowed onward. The form has changed, but nothing is truly lost. Energy cannot be destroyed, only transformed. In the Mahaparinibbana Sutta, the Buddha's final teaching was this: all compounded things are subject to decay. Strive diligently for your own liberation. These were not words of despair, but of freedom. If all things pass, then suffering passes too. Pain passes. Grief passes. Even the hardest moments are like water in the river. Here, one moment, gone the next. The young monk asked one final question. Master, how do I practice this? How do I remember this teaching when the pain returns? The Buddha smiled and said, return to the river. Watch the water flow. Notice how it does not cling to the rocks, does not resist the current, does not mourn what has passed downstream. Be like the river. Flow with life, not against it. Accept change, not as an enemy, but as the fundamental nature of existence itself. The Buddha taught 3 marks of existence. Impermanence. All things change. Suffering. Clinging to what changes causes pain. Non-self. There is no permanent, unchanging self to cling to. Understanding these truths is not about becoming cold or detached. It is about loving more freely, living more fully, and finding peace in the midst of constant change. Years later, that young monk became a teacher himself, and he would often take his own students to sit by rivers. He would point to the flowing water and share the lesson the Buddha had given him. Some understood immediately. Others needed time. but all of them eventually saw the truth, that resistance to change is the source of their suffering, and acceptance of change is the path to peace. The Buddha once said, "In the end, only three things matter: how much you loved, how gently you lived, and how gracefully you let go of things not meant for you." Let go of trying to freeze the river. Let go of demanding that things remain the same. Let go of the illusion that you can control the flow of life. Instead, sit by the river. Watch it flow. Feel gratitude for this moment, knowing it will not last, and that this is precisely what makes it precious. This is the lesson of the river. This is the path to peace. This is the wisdom of the Buddha. May you find peace in impermanence. May you love without grasping. May you flow like the river, accepting change as the nature of all things.